Now I'm out with a client, I can sit at the bar and I can drink ginger ale till the night is over because I have accepted that I cannot drink anymore. I'm convinced that I should never, under any circumstances, pick up a drink of alcohol again in my life. Never. I hope to God that when the day comes when I start to lose loved ones or, that are close to me, that not even that, my children, if anything ever happened to them, I'm sure it would hurt like hell. But alcohol is not going to solve that. Alcohol is not going to change that. We need to feel the pain that we feel. We need you need to almost embrace it. You have to say, this is just something that is going to make me a stronger person. This is something that is just life. Bad things happen in this life, and you have to learn to live life on life's terms. You have to do it. So from there, okay, we are on to step 7, which is something that I talked about in a past episode where someone had mentioned to me that I hadn't done it yet. And I said, well, what haven't I done? And they said, well, you haven't got on your knees and asked God to take away the desire for you to want to drink. So the next step being step 7, humbly on our knees asked him, capital H, meaning God, to remove these shortcomings, holding nothing back. Well, those painful things that we hold so close, oh boy, are they like possessions, So sometimes he rips them from you. He will take, if something isn't good for you and you're in the will of God, he's going to take it away from you. If, that's the thing is we've put things in front between us and God, the relationship that we have with God, that blocks that. Alcohol being one of them, our own will. These are things that, God wants these things out of our life because he knows, it's like having viruses in your computer. You got to get them out because that computer is not going to function right with all those viruses in there. If you were, here's a good one. Take a bottle of beer and dump it on your computer on the CPU or the hard drive. Dump it on there. Dump it right onto the motherboard and see what happens. It's the same thing. It ruins it. That computer isn't going to run right. And when we as alcoholics, not everybody, I'm not after alcohol. Alcohol for some people is something that they enjoy, and God bless them if they can. I can't. I drink far too much. So we've already covered that. So for them, they can function because they have a normal capacity for alcohol, where someone like me it's like dumping the beer on the motherboard. Oh, see ya. No more windows for you. So that's what, okay, where are we now? Okay, humbly on our knees, asked him to remove these shortcomings. So he's going to take them away if you let him take them away. He'll remove them from your life because it starts to repair the hard drive in your mind. He starts to reload your mind with things that are important, the important things in life. So what we talk about is getting honest with ourselves, humbling ourselves. It's not saying anymore, I can handle all this. I can handle it all. I don't need any help from anybody. Humbly on your knees. You can most people think that they can humble themselves. It's not possible. We are humbled by God, meaning he will knock you down. He'll take you down a few notches. That's what being humble is, by saying, you know what, my thinking isn't working. My plan, my way stinks. It's not working. And it isn't ever going to work. Never going to work the way that I think that I should live my life. Well, God has a different plan for all of us. It's not that my plan is not the same. My plan is a wonderful plan. My plan is to be a husband and a father for as long as I can be, because I'm no good on my own. It's like walking around in a completely dark room. bumping into stuff. That's what my thinking will get me. God shined light in my life. I have 3 daughters, one who's graduating high school and 2 small children around the first grade age, all girls. And the one that's graduating high school came into my life at the right time, because all of a sudden I had something else to think about besides my own problems, besides, Dan's woes and, how Dan's been cheated and that life stinks and everything's been lumped on him and no one else feels any of the pain that Dan feels. Well, God said, well, how about a little baby? That ought to straighten you out, huh? Worst time. I was full blown at that point, working at, some warehouse making $7.25 an hour, and all of a sudden I'm going to be a father. Oh my God, what are you kidding me? But you know what? She was the light in the dark room. That little girl, that little baby. She made my life so much different, that little girl. But it was God who did it, because God's, I said, why would God give me this beautiful baby? Why? I'm a lech. I'm a loser. I am a wretched person. Why? Because he loved me. And he said, you know what? Underneath all that drunken, idiotness and all that stuff that you do, there's that person that I love. There's that person that I wanted to be great. And you will be great, because now I'm going to give you this baby because you need her and she needs you. And I love you. And that's why I'm giving you to her. And it gave me a whole different perspective. I continued to drink. I came home one day from work and I was having a couple of beers, and she's in her little walker. She had been 9 months old. She starts making this sound and she comes up to me. And I think she wants a kiss. And I bend over to give her a kiss, and she goes for the beer. And I said, oh my God. I said, what kind of a father am I going to be to this child? Well, I'm a drunk. I'm an idiot, Well, and one Christmas came around, and, I was over at a friend's house having a keg party. I must have had about 30 or 40 beers. I don't even know. And I was, oh man. And I wake up on his living room rug, and I'm in the dark and I have no idea where I am. And I feel like, you know what? So I go back to sleep, and the next thing I know, I am being tapped on the shoulder, and it's the guy's wife. And she's going, Dan. And I said, well, like what? Coming out of a blackout. And I look down, and I'm urinating in the kitchen sink. Okay, everyone's sitting there, and I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay? And that was the end of it. That was the last time that I drank. And I was sick all through Christmas. So deathly sick. December 21st was the last time that I had a drink. And I went through that Christmas, and I was a shaken, yellow, disgusting mess. It was awful. But, again, I started to feel better just before New Year's Eve. And what happened was I ended up having an attack of pancreatitis. I'm doubled over on my bathroom floor. I was literally ready to go in to get a beer. I said, I'm going to go in the bathroom, and I'm going to go to the bathroom, and then I'm going to go get a beer, and I'm going to start drinking. It's New Year's Eve. And as I stepped into that bathroom, it was like I got shot in the middle of my stomach. I went down like a ton onto that floor. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't see. I was laying there on that tile, and I'm saying, I'm dying. I am going to die on the bathroom floor at 27 years old. And I managed to lay there for about 20 minutes, and the pain started to subside a little bit. But I still was seeing everything was in black and white, and I'm saying, I'm dying. So finally, it started to come out of that. I ended up at the doctor, and they said, you have pancreatitis. And I was sick again for another 10 days. And as I lay there on my couch, didn't go to work or anything like that, and that's when I said, Lord, I can't do this anymore. I can't live my life like this. I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of whatever time I have on this earth, but I know I can't do this anymore. Please show me a different way. And that's when it all began. That's when I started to live my life a day at a time, started to listen to somebody else's plan, God's plan. And that's where the 12 steps come from. All these steps that you're hearing about, they all come out of the Word of God, which is the Bible. And it works. There's a lot of people out there living their life sober a day at a time with the concepts that are taught in the halls of AA. Again, this is not a substitute for a meeting. This isn't to replace anything. This is just maybe the frosting on the cake or a little side step. If you can't make it to a meeting, just sit there and listen to us as we sit there. And for those of you who are tuning in that are more experienced in AA, I'm just going over the steps for the new people. So I hope that you have enjoyed. I hope that you have enjoyed these little programs, and we're going to move on to step 8 next time. And I thank you for listening as usual. Stay sober for one day, for 1 minute. If you need us, email me, anything. Just, listen. We'll be here for you. Thanks.